Hello, my cozy cottage cryptids. I actually had a different video planned for today, well, audio. My brain is not working, which is why I've tried and so many failed attempts at recording anything, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens, sometimes things don't go to plan. The theme of all of this week. Long story, but I won't get into that now. I've decided, because I do want to upload today, to record something a little easier and something quite fun, something I was reading in my spare time anyway during my breaks, and I thought I'd share with you. So, of course, as you can tell from the title, I will be reading a few spooky stories from r/short scary stories on Reddit. The first one is by Bruggalug. Whispers in the Dark. As far as I can tell, the sleep talking started a couple of months ago. I pray it hasn't been any longer than that. For all I know, it could have been going on for weeks to years without my knowledge. How could I not know? We've slept in the same bed for over a decade, but I never noticed my wife saying anything in her sleep, beyond an occasional moan or whimper. See, I'd been having issues with insomnia lately, probably due to drinking more caffeine at work. It's a bad cycle. I'd go into work tired, so I'd drink more caffeine. I wouldn't sleep well, you get the drift. Anyway, I was lying awake at 3 a.m. and staring into the blackness above me, when I heard her whisper something so low it was almost inaudible. It was a name. Brad Johnston. Who in the world is Brad Johnston? I remember wondering. As I mulled it over, I fell asleep. The next day, I asked her about it. Who's Brad Johnston? She looked at me blankly. What? Genuinely flabbergasted. Brad Johnston. You said his name while you were sleeping. She just shrugged. I don't know. Never heard that name before. Sorry about that. Was it an ex-boyfriend? A character on a show she watches? I didn't know, but I figured it could just be coincidence. I shrugged it off. The next night, she didn't say anything. In fact, for a week, there were no more whisperings that I was aware of. 7 days later, it was once again 3 a.m. I was staring at the ceiling when I heard her whisper, Susanna Decker. The next morning, I asked her about it. Just like the first time, she couldn't tell me where she was getting these names from. After that, the names started coming faster. Kyle Trager, Kim Tran, Lakeisha Jeffers, and so on. At first it was one name a night. Soon it was 2, 3, or 4 names. After a couple of weeks, I got the idea to start Googling some of the more unique names. I wish I hadn't. From what I could tell, they were all names of people who had committed suicide. Brad had hanged himself, Susanna had taken pills, and Kyle and Lakeisha were jumpers. Search after search confirmed it. They had died the night she uttered their names. I wrestled with whether or not I wanted to share this information with her. I didn't know what good it would do. It's not like she knew what was going on. In the end, though, that's exactly what I did. Of course, she was devastated to hear the news. She said she didn't ever want to sleep again. But she had to, and the names kept coming. And tonight, I heard my own name pass her lips like a gentle breeze. Christopher Abner. I've never made a noose before, but my hands sure seem to know what they're doing. This one is by Huckleberry Enough 124. Jump in the Night. Connor! Where did you go, Connor? The loud husky voice woke me from a dead sleep. I looked at my phone, 2:17 a.m. I let out a long sigh and simply closed my eyes. Come on, Connor. No hide and seek tonight. So much for silence. The same damn voice bellowing out from the same damn person. I think it's a person. He did say something about playing hide and seek. Drunks, probably, I thought. Those partying bastards were interrupting my beauty sleep. Connor! Connor, let's go, bro! Are these folks doing this now on an otherwise unassuming Monday night? Save the screaming for the weekend, I say. But, of course, the parties involved didn't receive my message through my outdated telepathy software. So, in an all too short pause in the screaming, I once again heard, "Connor!" Now my blood is boiling. I choose not to climb out of bed and yell back. It would be hypocritical for starters, mixed with unnecessary language coupled with my interrupting my own laziness. But then another sound begins to echo in the night air. I lay there and listen intently. I'm not sure. I recognize it as sounds of a rhythmic squeak-squeak, almost like bed springs, if you will. But who in the hell has a bed outside? And if so, do I truly want to know what they're doing? Connor! Alright, now I'm pissed. I jump out of bed with plenty of anger for fuel. I make my way downstairs. Forget peeking out the window. I'm going outside. All the while, the squeaking continues. As I reach for the front door, the situation becomes clear. The noise is the trampoline the stupid neighbor kids have across the street. That's the sound I'm hearing. But there is still a question to be answered. Who the hell is Connor? I quickly opened up the door and ran into the front lawn. I was right. The squeaking was the trampoline. Just one thing, though. Nobody is on it. From down the street, that voice yelled out for Connor. Without missing a beat, the trampoline stopped. Then, a burly-looking fella came out from the darkness in the direction of the voice. He let out a sigh of relief and said, "There you are." Did I miss something? There who is? I didn't see anyone. But the squeaking stopped. The trampoline has gone silent, and the ogre-looking thing was walking towards it. Then he noticed me standing in my undies by the sidewalk. With a toothy grin on his face, he waved too casually for my liking, as though this was normal in his world. Sorry if I woke you, man. I just hurried back into the house, all kinds of freaked out. I walked into the kitchen and flipped on the light. I jumped and screamed when I saw a pale boy sitting on my counter. He put his index finger to his lips. Shh, he won't find me here. This one is by Far-Amoeba, 1761. I should have moved out. This is ridiculous, I said to myself. Can't even get a good night's rest. It's like ever since I moved into this house I'm having sleeping problems. Then a door shut violently downstairs. What the? I grabbed my phone and went downstairs to investigate. While I was downstairs, I noticed that kitchen cabinets were all opened. Then I saw the lights of the guest bedroom downstairs were turned on. I admit, I was on edge at this point, so I grabbed the kitchen knife. As I slowly approached the door, I heard the sound of something scratching in the room. Then, all of a sudden, the door was pushed from the inside, almost like someone was trying to get out of the room. Then I heard someone laughing hysterically from inside the room. Fuck this, I said to myself. I was so terrified I ran out of the house and called the cops. When the cops showed up, I told them everything that had happened. Then they went inside the house to investigate, and to my surprise, they told me no one was in the house. The next day, I decided to get security cameras installed in the house. I told myself I must check the security cameras before entering the house. After the incident that occurred the day before, it was like a routine for me, something I never thought I needed to do, making sure that my own home was safe before I could even step a foot back in. Months went by and everything was normal. I was finally able to get a good night's rest, thinking that what had happened that night was probably just my imagination. Then one day, I had a long and tiring day at work. All I wanted to do was go home and call it a night. When I arrived home, I was so tired that I didn't even check the security cameras, which means I broke my daily routine of checking the cameras before entering my house. While I was laying in bed, I decided to check the security cameras. As soon as I opened the security camera app, my heart dropped. Camera app, 10 a.m. Motion detected, master bedroom camera. My fingers slowly hit the view button, and I saw that it was me. I realized I was late for work, which made the camera detect me. Then I saw something that consumed me with fear. Camera app, 10 p.m. Motion detected, master bedroom camera. I clicked view, and I saw this all-black humanoid figure, with its head looking down, and standing straight and still. I realized when I got home, the creature got down and crawled under my bed. I should have moved out. This one is by EITFullah. The nature of fear. What about me frightens you? Is it my elongated, human-adjacent body structure? My transparent glass eyes? Or my veiny and bloody scalp, from which hangs several long strands of black hair? What about my serene voice? Does my speech frighten you? The mere fact that I can talk? The truth is, you are not frightened of me at all. You are frightened by your assumptions of me. You do not understand me, so your worst imagination develops wild notions about how threatening I am to you. You assume that if you leap out of your bed and sprint for the door, I will scamper down from your ceiling and snatch you. You assume that if I have you in my grasp, I will dismember and devour you like a feral predator. Or I will take you to my family, who will then flay you alive in some supernatural ritual. Now, indulge me for a moment. Ask me what about you scares me. I fear you, not because I do not understand you, but because I do. Your baseless assumptions about me offer me insight into exactly who you are. I am terrified that you will ultimately kill me. I refuse to let that happen. Tonight, I will kill you first. Here I come. Boo! Did I scare you? Sleep tight. Don't let the monsters bite. Alright.